From my early days in gaming, I have always loved the concept of unlockables. I can play a repetitive game over and over again, but that game can't be Pokemon Rumble. A game can be directed greatly, have amazing design and mechanics, but if it doesn't have unlockables, I'm leaving. Given that my first game was a Mario game, it's obvious to see why I have this mentality. Even the first mainline game on the NES gave you a second harder challenge once you beat the game, which goes to show that Nintendo has always had a knack for including extra shit to give the player. Now I know nowadays that sentiment has kind of faded away, and we will get to that in due time, but trust me when I say that I only know Mario and Nintendo for being lush with extra content. And you know why? Well, my bucko, I was raised on the Wii, so you know where this is going. The Mario Kart series has been around for 30 years and has captivated audiences around the globe and left an insane mark on the industry. No matter how many games try to implement drifting, items, and different characters, they cannot match up to Mario. And Mario's unlockables are even better. Now, in the earlier days of the series, unlockables were a little bit less. Super Mario Kart had 150cc in its Special Cup unlockable, whereas Mario Kart 64 just had Mirror Mode. The next entry, Mario Kart Super Circuit, was amazing because the unlockables were all of the courses from the Super Nintendo game. Now, up until this point, most of the game's unlockables were centered around courses rather than the actual characters, and not to mention that every game required you to unlock its Special Cup. Now, this all changed with the release of Mario Kart Double Dash on the GameCube. Mario Kart Double Dash offers a various amount of karts to be unlocked, as well as two sets of unlockable characters, Toad, Toadette, Petey Piranha, and King Boo. Now expect the usual shebang of unlocking the Special Cup, but we also get the All Cup Tour and Mirror Mode again. Now, none of the games before this really make you play 50cc, but this one, you can unlock specific karts with that mode, so it's kind of beneficial to play it. Providing a good and beneficial reason to complete all of the content in the main game is great, and I honestly think that it is rewarding to complete all of it, because you get a ton of customization with it. Not to mention, the new characters is pretty cool. Now, Mario Kart DS had Dry Bones, Daisy, Waluigi, and Rob as unlockable characters, as well as 36 fucking karts. Continuing on from Double Dash, this was an amazing game for the handheld, not to mention that it had mission mode, which didn't really unlock it anything, but still, it had a mission mode. There were a ton of karts, and it was a ton of fun having you play every single course on every single difficulty. You unlocked something just like Double Dash. This was awesome. It actually enticed you to do shit. Mario Kart Wii with 18 unlockable karts and bikes and so many fucking characters. The reason why I hold this as the greatest Mario Kart game to me is due to the journey of unlocking everything. You see, I remarked how on the previous two titles they were able to entice me to play all of the tracks on all of the difficulties, which is nice. But Mario Kart Wii makes me play time trial as well and unlock all of the expert staff goats, not beat them, to unlock the rest of the characters. Mario Kart Wii does the unthinkable and entices me to complete more than just the Grand Prix mode. It entices me to complete absolutely everything. Regardless of whether I completed a cup or a time trial, as a kid this game was a dopamine factory because with everything I did, I unlocked something, and I just didn't know what characters were in the game because back then I didn't have a strategy guide or the internet. Funky Kong was so cool. The character roster in this game, oh my god, and the track selection as well, the music, everything was just firing on all cylinders with this game, but the unlockables just made it so much more replayable because every time I played it, I didn't know who I was going to unlock next, what new car I was going to get, and the journey to getting there is even better. When it's finally done and you see no more question marks, seeing the full character roster is just so satisfying. This game is awesome. Mario Kart 7 is very similar to the DS with 4 unlockable characters and many kart parts, but overall, I'll say that this game is a little bit more forgetful than its predecessor, and that's about it. Now, Mario Kart 8. When it comes to all of the Mario Kart games, this one is by far the most definitive feeling. With a full roster and an amazing set of courses, Mario Kart 8 originally releasing on the Wii U had collectibles through characters and kart parts, and life was perfect. Okay, so maybe the DLC characters didn't have to be unlocked on top of any unlockables in general being randomly distributed to you, and on top of that, the only thing you really needed to complete time trial mode for were golden tires, but regardless, Mario Kart 8 was a great follow-up that I absolutely loved and couldn't wait to play. Then Deluxe fucked it up. Oh, come on, man. You got PD Parama, Kamek, all of these brand new courses, including DS Peach Garden's amazing soundtrack that you're listening to right now. How can I be mad? Well, funky soundtrack aside, I love having to unlock a course with a funky soundtrack. You basically double the length of the game, and they're adding a whole new row of characters, but you don't have to unlock any of them. Not to mention, just logging on into the game in general, right off the bat, all your characters are unlocked. The only thing you have to do is randomly unlock parts, and that's just annoying at best. I don't have much else to say about Mario Kart 8. It's a phenomenal title that is completely held back by the fact that some of its characters aren't covered by question marks. Am I saying that making some of the character icons question marks and making you have to unlock them would make the game better? Yes. And saying that the characters aren't unlockable because the previous Wii U players coming to the Switch are going to be sad is stupid, because the Wii U console as a whole sold 13 million and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe alone has sold 50. So there is a bunch of new players who would only benefit from having to unlock these things. It would give it more of a fucking solo player experience value, but whatever. Did I mention Mario Party?
We're getting calls about a wild party over here. Know anything about it? I didn't think so. Which one of you jokers goes by the name Mario?
It's me!
Could you step outside?
But it's me! Mario!
Yeah, tell it to the judge.
Great game to end friendships, but I'm not gonna lie. This game was one of my favorites, and I played it alone. And one of the greatest facts about playing Mario Party alone is that there's always stuff to unlock. Always. It would take until the third entry of the series to introduce unlockable characters, being Daisy and Waluigi. Ever since, basically every Mario Party game had 2 unlockable characters and 1 board. Sadly, the original developers, Hudson Soft, would die, and the reins of the Mario Party series would be given to developer ND Cube, and they would be controversial. However, the quality of these titles doesn't really matter in terms of unlockables, because there were unlockables for the most part, some boards or characters, but when it comes to the Switch releases, I have issues. Super Mario Party in terms of the character roster is fine, 20 characters with 4 of them being unlockable, great, but my issue is with the boards. There's only 4 of them. No unlockable board. See, Bowser being playable in Super Mario Party was huge, so when they took him out of the roster for Mario Party Superstars, I was thinking, are they going to give him a board? No, there's no unlockable 6th board or unlockable characters, which makes no sense because all of the boards in this game are over 20 years old, so they should definitely be able to make at least 6 of them for the game. And the fact that there's nothing to unlock except stupid stickers and the soundtrack, there's no point to play this game at all. There's no DLC for any of this, I don't see it happening, so Mario Party is probably dead for now, but the sports games haven't seen a good fucking year either. Regardless of what Mario Sport game you played first, chances are you have probably noticed the wealth of characters that most of the games have to offer. I not only think that this is a great way to pad out the game, but in general, it kind of makes the player sort of master the sport in order to unlock certain characters because certain thresholds are hard to cross. I will mainly be discussing Mario Golf, Tennis, Baseball, and Strikers. Any other Mario Sport game I will not be mentioning, sadly, because I don't really care about them. Now, Mario's first branded sport game was on the Virtual Boy, but if we go back further, NES Open was his first golf game. Actually, I lied, it's just normal golf, but the first definitive Mario Sport title has gotta be Mario Golf on the Nintendo 64. I personally think that this is one of the greatest kickoffs to any Mario franchise ever. Only 4 characters? Yeah, this is definitely not Mario's Golf. This was the only Mario Sport game in existence that doesn't give you Mario right off the bat other than the Game Boy releases. Like, holy shit. Now, 7 of the 10 unlockable characters in this game are acquired through a mode called Get Character, which is basically you 1v1ing another character to unlock them, but 3 of the characters require you to do specific things. Now, I'm not going to lie, the other sport game released on the Nintendo 64, Mario Tennis, doesn't really have unlockable characters, but it does have you unlock courses and play through the game, and overall, I just think that both of these games are a humble beginning to what would grow into both pretty solid franchises. But something about that feeling, only having 4 characters in the beginning and then completely having the full roster afterwards, it makes it so satisfying, and it made me get really good at golf. Alright, now I'm going to have to mention Mario Tennis and Mario Golf both had counterpart releases on the Game Boy, and they acted as RPG versions of Mario Golf and Mario Tennis, where you played as average characters. And with the Nintendo 64 transfer pack plugged into the controller, you could actually transfer characters from the Game Boy versions of these games into the N64 ones, which is where the 4 extra characters come from in each game. But the GameCube generation would take all of these sports and bring them to their peak, and would also introduce 2 new sports, Mario Baseball and Mario Strikers. Now, I didn't mention before that Mario Golf only started you off with 1 course as well and made you unlock all of them. Mario Golf Toadstool Tour continued this, but only has 4 unlockable characters now. I guess Nintendo figured you wanted to play as Mario this time around. Anyway, I personally like Mario Golf Toadstool Tour because the characters aren't too hard to get, but you do have to complete basically every, mode of the game in order to get them. But the main aspect of this game that people usually get surrounded with in terms of unlockables are the star characters, which are just more powerful versions of the characters. I don't personally really care. And yes, there are 4 extra slots of this game that are reserved for the Game Boy Advance, stupid. They did the same thing that they did with the Nintendo 64 games. It's whatever. Okay, moving on to Mario Power Tennis. Mario Power Tennis had 4 unlockable characters this time around, which is actually pretty cool. Koopa, Paratroopa, Fly Guy, PD Piranha, and Wiggler, all of which are unlocked by completing cups or tournaments. I personally like this. The game also has some unlockable courts that are Mario themed. This is something that every Mario sport game will slowly begin to struggle with as time goes on, because Mario theming is something that's important for a Mario sport title, and these GameCube titles did it pretty well. Even Mario Golf Toadstool Tour had some pretty nice Mario themed courses there. And Mario Superstar Baseball is a faithful-ass sport game because not only is the character roster huge right off the bat and has massive potential, but you also have a bunch of unlockables. Toadette, Monty Mole, Hammer Bro, Dixie Kong, Baby Mario, and Luigi. This is awesome, dude! Not to mention that there are game modes and mini-games also locked behind these games as well. These GameCube releases were just packed to the brim with content. There was so much to unlock in these games, which made them so much more replayable. Now, the first Mario Strikers only had 1 set of unlockable characters, which was Bowser's Super Team. Bowser wasn't even playable, but I think that this game was good, considering that it was released in, basically the end of the GameCube's life and sold more than any of the other sport games released on that console. Surprisingly, with the next generation's technology of the Wii, Nintendo would feel that sports games just weren't really a thing for Mario, only really giving him Mario Strikers Charged and Mario Sluggers, which was a sequel to Baseball. Mario Tennis did get a release, although it was just a simple re-release. But Nintendo stayed strong during this period. All Mario sports franchises were seen pretty strong, and the Wii generation only amplified this. See, take what I said before about Mario Superstar Baseball on the GameCube, but just multiply it by 10 for the Wii release. Just better controls, more characters, more courts, just the fucking package. But Mario Strikers Charged is by far the magnum opus to me in terms of sports games, because it took the original, no music having, very limited Mario Strikers and fucking electrified it. See, Mario Strikers Charged decides to have 17 goddamn stadiums and 3 unlockable characters. And while it basically remakes all of the stadiums from the original on the GameCube and doesn't give them any music, the 3 unlockable characters in this game are a fight because you have to play the story mode in order to unlock them, which doesn't allow you to change your team once you've picked it. Now, Mario Kart Wii is very memorable because there's a ton of unlocks. After almost every race, I was getting something. But with Mario Strikers Charged, as a child, I was fighting tooth and nail against this AI, and I barely scratched over just to get each unlockable character, Bowser Jr., Diddy Kong, and PD Piranha. But finally getting to the end and beating the game just on normal difficulty made the character mean so much more because it was so hard for me as a child. Not to mention the unlockable courts in this game. With every unlockable court, it also meant that there were new gimmicks to experience in the gameplay and new music to jam out to. But the biggest factor that I haven't spoken about from the beginning of these sports games to now is the personality that it gives all of the characters. Whether you score, whether you don't score, whether you're winning, whether you're losing, these characters show their personality and the fire through their little cutscenes and animations and reactions, and it's just so cool. You never get to see these characters emote like actual people. They're just always in these bland, stupid states, especially with the Mario Party series, making them all have deadpan stares. So it's just really refreshing to see these characters actually talk and emote and whine and cry and laugh. It's awesome. Okay, so right off the bat, even a game with 3 unlockable characters has made me impressed, so Nintendo can't fuck this up going forward, right? Yeah, so the tennis series got fucked from here. So Mario Tennis Open, released on the 3DS in 2012, is very lackluster. But I'm not going to lie, the chords and characters in this game are not that bad. I mean, they got a Mario Galaxy chord, come on. I mean, yeah, the unlockable characters are Dry Bowser, the different color of Yoshi's Metal Mario, Baby Peach, and Luma, and, most of that is just really stupid filler shit. So, I mean, overall, it's not really that satisfying to unlock characters, but at least it has stuff to work towards. 2014 would bring us one of the greatest Mario Golf games of all time. It was packed with courses, packed with characters, also packed with costumes that you could unlock for your Mii and other little challenges. Overall, Mario Golf World Tour is one of the games that I personally regard as one of the best in the series. Not to mention, every character had many distinguishable animations and they were flashy as all hell. Alright, so moving along, I mean, things aren't so bad yet. They can't really get that worse, right? 2015 didn't treat Mario Tennis good. See, for starters, most of the unlockable courts and every unlockable thing in the game is just purchasable by unlocking coins in a fucking shop menu. Also, the characters are just grayed out and their outlines are shown, so you could obviously just see who's unlockable. Right off the bat, this game just takes away so much charm of having unlockable things. And that's mostly due to the fact that this game, content-wise, is just tennis and nothing else. No game modes, nothing really to be aspired here. It's not that difficult either, so overall, it just produced a very bad environment for unlockables, and sadly, they were just reduced to being purchasable, and that's about it for Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. So moving forward into this fucking awful train wreck, the Switch generation is here, so we are bound to actually get some type of redemption, right? Why the fuck do I always say that? Please get used to the fact that every single Mario Sports game on the Switch sadly has free content updates because they rush these games out to a release date that they cannot make, thus the games are empty and void of content on their physical means. 2018 brought us Mario Tennis Aces, but sadly in an incomplete state, as the game would be updated over around a year after its launch. Now, the game had an adventure mode, which was required to play in order to unlock courts, which is great, but all of the characters were unlocked right off the bat. And with the final updated version of the game, look at how many fucking characters there are! And you're telling me that they couldn't have implemented some type of way to unlock these guys? We just have to fucking literally sit there and have the entire roster of fucking Bible on? I mean, like, seriously, look at how many different characters are included in this one game. There is practically every character that you could possibly want in this game. Like, holy fucking shit. Yeah, star characters, but my point is this game just slowly started to show me how bad it was going to be, because when the DLC content was added, you didn't have to unlock it, and there was no unlockable stuff from the beginning other than the courts, so we're not looking good. 2021 brought us Mario Golf Super Rush. The same fucking issue! This adventure mode had you playing as no Mario characters. It was mega ass. Some parts were creative, but I'm not talking about that. Look, no unlockables. All these characters right off the bat. The only thing you had to unlock was the courses. And listen, the DLC, once it was added, this game felt like pointless. Oh yeah, by the way, you had to play online to unlock outfits in Mario Tennis Aces and Golf Super Rush, and get this, you could only unlock one outfit a fucking month. Thanks for taking all the fun out of this. You could have made me do side shit in the video game, because Mario Golf Super Rush actually has some weight to it. Not a lot. Like, the final courses that they added to the game were actually pretty good in my opinion, and I genuinely was baffled that I didn't have to unlock them through some extension to the story or playing the actual game. Like, nothing requires me to really play the game other than to get all the courses, but I could literally just hop online. I have all the characters, it doesn't matter. Now, sadly, I have no Switch friends, so this game is basically meaningless because Nintendo has designed these sports games thus far to be like, oh yeah, you're playing these games with people, because other than that, this game has, like, no single-player value because the CPU is absolute dog shit. There's no difficulty setting. No unlockable difficulty settings like in Mario Party. Nothing. Nothing at all. Fuck me. Fuck me. I spent $60 on this game. I bought it at GameStop. Technically, I spent $64. Fuck this game. These two sport games, great. Tennis and golf constantly get releases. But you know what? Let's reach over to the Wii generation and up one of those sports that has an untarnished reputation. Let's fuck it up so bad that everyone hates it. That makes the Metacritic score look so bad on this game, it'll make you cry. Dude, look how they massacred my boy. Mario Strikers Battle League was what I wanted, dude. Mario Strikers was my most favorite series in the entire fucking world, and now it's not anymore. Battle League single-handedly fucking ruined everything. When I saw the announcement on Twitter that there was going to be free updates, I was like, fucking damn it, Daisy isn't in the game. 2022 was a very interesting year because earlier Nintendo Switch Sports released in an incomplete state and gave us golf like way later. And guess what? A game mode where you could fucking put a leg strap on your leg and put the Joy-Con in it and move it. It took them fucking past the launch date of the game to put that in. Nintendo is lazy. Mario Strikers Battle League is the epitome of this free content update because I spent $60 on this game. I went to Walmart at 8 in the morning. I fucking had to ask someone to get this game for me. I was dedicated, and when I opened this game up, it was the exact same thing as the fucking demo that I downloaded. But remember in Mario Tennis Ultra Smash how you had to get coins to unlock things? You could actually get coins. In Mario Strikers Battle League, you need coins in order to unlock gear for your characters so they could be faster, stronger. It makes you able to customize your build, which is awesome. I would rather play Roblox Bubblegum Simulator. This thing actually makes me feel a sense of progression because I could jump higher in the map. Meanwhile, here in Mario Strikers Battle League, I fucking play like 20 online matches to unlock 2 pieces of gear for Mario, and I don't fucking feel a thing. I get so fucking disappointed looking at all this bullshit. Like, this is my favorite series of all time. Like, Strikers Charge only had 3 fucking unlockable characters, and that game was great. This game ended up having 16 characters after it was fully updating, adding Daisy, Diddy Kong, Bowser Jr., Pauline, and Birdo, and someone fucking else. Listen, dude, my power was out, and I live in a rural area, so I couldn't download the update when Daisy came out. I could not access it. I fucking used my phone hotspot and somehow was managed to do it, and when I finally downloaded that update after like 4 hours, it was not worth it. Remember how I said earlier that I found soundtracks rewarding in a way? Because it was kind of nice to hear the soundtrack of a, court that you unlocked, but you had to, like, try to unlock it. That's how I feel about Strikers, because in Strikers Charged, all of the stadiums had such amazing soundtracks, and in this game it all is produced by this dude named Chad York, and he just makes this thing have a heavy metal kick. And when I heard the original fucking Road to Strikers from Charged, I got pumped. I was like, damn, this game is gonna be. And then when I actually played it, it was garbage. But I'm not gonna lie, having no unlockable characters, adding like one fucking stadium, and the stadiums are bland as shit. They don't add any gameplay elements. They took away items. They have less items in general. No side kick characters, so like now there's a lot less fucking. Oh yeah, Shy Guy was the last unlockable character fucking DLC kit. Fuck. My closing sentiment is games should have more cool unlockable characters, and in fact they should just turn half of the roster into question marks because it would make the game more fun. If Smash Ultimate could do it, so can Mario Kart 8. That is my argument, and I rest.